In this example, we're going to look at absolute value inequalities, specifically the case where there's a less than, which is going to turn into an and situation. Just like an absolute value equation, we first need to isolate the absolute values before we can proceed. So we're going to start by subtracting 8 from both sides, and we get 6. Absolute value of 9a plus 3 is less than 18. And then we're going to divide both sides by 6 and get the absolute value of 9a plus 3 is less than 3. Okay, once the absolute value has been isolated, now it's time to really key on what symbol we have after the absolute value. So in this case, we have a less than, and so this would be the situation where the absolute value is on the left-hand side. So when the absolute value is on the left-hand side and you have a less than, this is going to become a compound inequality in an and situation. So this is going to split up into two situations, just like your absolute value equations. The first will be 9a plus 3 is less than 3, just as it looks. And the second one will be 9a plus 3, flip the inequality direction and change the sign of the number on the other side. So now we're going to solve each of these separately, and this is an and case. Okay, so for the first one, we need to subtract 3. Subtract 3, we get 9a is less than 0, divided by 9, and we get a is less than 0. Okay, and on the other side, we need to subtract 3 from both sides. We get 9a is greater than negative 6, and we divide both sides by 9, and we get a is greater than negative 2/3 after we reduce. Okay, so let's go ahead and graph that on a number line. And we're going to just put the key points in that we need. So we've got 0, and we've got, should move that over, put 0 over here, and we've got negative 2/3 somewhere here. Okay, so we're looking at strictly less than for both of these because that was the symbol at the top. So we're going to have an open circle on negative 2/3 going all the way up to, let me change colors here, all the way up to 0, and that's going to be the graph. You can also notice that since this is an and it's the space in between, that we could write this as a conjoined inequality as negative 2/3 is less than a is less than 0. And that's the case where we have an and inequality, an absolute value inequality with a less than sign, which turns into an and compound inequality.